Properties in SoapUI Part 2. This is Lecture 21 of Section 5. Let's begin. In this lecture, we will study about Properties Test Step. We will study how to load property from a .properties file, and this will be followed by an end of section test. Properties Test Step. The Properties Test Step is used for defining custom properties to be used within a test case. Its main advantages over defining properties at the test case level are that you can organize properties into multiple properties test steps if you have many of them. You can specify source and target file names which will be used to read and write the contained properties when the test step is executed. Now, the properties test step windows is as follows. Now we'll have a look at what this window looks like in the tool. Now in the tool, you go to the test case and you go to the properties and you double click. So the similar window will open as shown in the previous slide. Now you can see that there is a property defined city and it has the value Melbourne. Now the above buttons, using the above buttons, we can add the properties to this properties list, we can delete them, we can order the properties, and then we can sort the properties alphabetically. We can clear all the current properties values and so on and so forth. Now one thing that we can actually do is that we can load the property values from some external file. For example, we have a .properties file and we want to load the properties from that. So how are we going to do that? Now this button will help us to do that. You click here and this dialog box will open, which will ask you for the path of that particular .properties file. Now let's look for it. We want to browse and go to the .properties file, and we have this stats.properties file. We click open, and here there are two options. It asks us to create the missing properties and delete the properties that are not in the file. So we won't delete the previous property, but we will create the missing properties, and then you click OK. Now it says that it has added and updated 32 properties from this file. So these properties, the old property, it was intact, and after that we can see that there are around 31 properties that were added from that file. So now these properties can be added across. This has been added in the test step and can be used in the test case also, because now we have these properties and they have these particular values. So this is how we load properties from a .properties file. Now it's time for the test. End of section test. Question number 1. How do we retrieve request and response data? Question number 2. What are common usage scenarios of a test runner variable? Question number 3. What are the different ways of reading properties in Groovy? Question number 4. What are the advantages of using properties test step? Okay, now we come to the test answers. How do we retrieve request and response data? This is the code. We use the get request content and get request content as XML, and get response content and the corresponding get response content as XML functions, and we can get the request and response data as shown in the code. We use the message exchange object, and these are the corresponding methods of that object. Next question. What are the common usage scenarios of a test runner variable? Okay. The common scenarios are we using testrunner.testCase to get hold of the containing test case from which all other objects in the project can be accessed and manipulated. Number 2, we use testrunner.fail or .cancel to abort the ongoing test case. And then we can use testrunner.go to step by name or testrunner run test step by name to transfer the execution to another test step. Answer number 3. What are the different ways of reading properties in Groovy? One way is we use the context object and use test case dot get property value, and in the other way we can use the test runner object and go to test case level and use the get property value method. And answer number 4, what are the advantages of using properties test step? The answers are you can organize properties into multiple properties test steps, and you can specify source and target file names which will be used to read and write the contained properties when the test step is executed. This is the end of lecture 21. Thank you.